Hey guys, it's Fightflow. What you're about to witness in this video is pure monstrosity. These MMA fighters will leave you speechless. From goddamn brick walls to massive big boys. Whether they're fighting each other or smaller opponents, it doesn't matter. You're about to witness full-time savagery. You might even rethink your life after this one, because you'd never imagined that such horror exists. Perfect for a Halloween episode, right guys? But remember, we're not here for cheap talk about these dudes or their life paths. We're going straight into the action. There will be controlled violence, entertainment and definitely some fun. And a quick reminder before we start. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hype this video, if you appreciate the work. Alright, let's go.
Но уже в маунте оказался Vizagin, начинает разбивать до Сантоса.
Ну все.
И это нокаут.
Let's kick things off with two heavyweights colliding in the promotion called Real Extreme Fighting. On one side we got an absolute warlord, Sando Lungu, one of the last true European savages whose sole purpose is to dismantle any possible threat. And that threat tonight comes in the form of badass looking African tribe leader Amed Kones, straight out of Wakanda vibes. He just defeated some challenger back home who tried to claim his throne, and now he's defending the pride of his nation on the international stage. Let's see who comes out on top. Sando Lungu, who looks like an out-of-shape Dave Batista, is staring at Amadou like, yeah, it's time for that ass-whooping, son. The fight begins. Both fighters are hesitant at first, testing each other, trying to establish dominance. Lungu does a great job pressuring his opponent against the fence. Amadou throws some offense, but Lungu shrugs off every attempt and keeps marching forward.
The pace gets to you at this weight. When you are 150 kilos, and you have one set of human lungs and one heart to power that body.
We underestimate just how strong Sando is.
Yep, Sando from a
Right
judo background, very tough.
Lungu is relentless. He starts unloading heavy shots, and Amadou looks completely devastated by the sheer power of this monster.
Trying to get a grip on Sando, but he's taken two uppercuts so far.
And a right hand.
But look at this, a crazy moment. Lungu grabs him, bang, a massive uppercut. Amadou's face says it all. Holy shit, how did the gods give him that much power? And that's it. Amadou realizes there's no chance against such an ancient powerhouse.
The cleaner punches coming in from Sando. And Rocky is down. The punches to the face. And he taps.
He taps from strikes, desperate for mercy. You could see his whole life flash before his eyes that night, because that beatdown was pure, unfiltered intensity.
Sando looking the fresher of the two men. Big right hand. The cleaner punches coming in from Sando.
Up next, a clash of absolute beasts. Bob Sapp takes on Ashunarashi Kintaro. Just look at these guys. They're one of the reasons so many people are starving these days. Both of them are absolutely humongous. You could probably feed a small village with their daily food consumption alone. During the face-off, they're both nodding at each other like, yeah, let's go to war, my big brother. You can almost feel the mutual respect, and the silent understanding that one of them might get eaten alive after this, if the winner's too hungry for that victory. The fight starts and Kintaro immediately unloads on Sapp with a barrage of punches. What a start! But Bob Sapp eats those shots like it's breakfast. Kintaro suddenly slows down, probably trying to save energy, because Bob just refuses to go down that easily. Then look at that stare from Bob, it's like he's saying with his eyes, so you choose the path of violence. Alright motherfucker, let's go. Both fighters start trading heavy shots, it's chaos. We're only a few minutes in and they already look exhausted. A lot of circling, a few half-hearted jabs, and the ref who's clearly losing patience. He's signaling like, come on you big buffoons, give us some action. By the end of the first round, they throw down a few more times, and I'd say it's a solid round for Kintaro. Second round, Sapp comes out charging this time, pure aggression. Kintaro shots for a takedown and actually gets it, but the sheer brute force of their combined mass flips the situation around, and Sapp ends up on top. He starts hammering down with a ground and pound, landing solid shots, but Kintaro isn't just lying there. He's throwing small punches back, doing what he can from the bottom. By the end of the round, Bobs get a nasty cut that's leaking, but he definitely took that round. Third round, they stare each other down again, pure mean mugging, and then boom, they start swinging leather again. Kintaro's clearly more exhausted at this point. I mean, after spending a round with Sapp on top of you, you're not exactly feeling fresh.
1-2-1, 1-2-1, hit! Get the underhook!
Then Bob lands a solid body shot and Kintaro's reaction is priceless. Like, oh come on bro, you're shaking up my breakfast. By now Kintaro's backing up, Sapp's pushing forward, and to their credit, they're still throwing bombs till the very end. This one goes the distance, and Bob Sapp takes the decision victory. What a battle between two absolute units. Now let's go completely old school. One of the true MMA pioneers, Ukrainian legend Igor Vovchanchyn takes on the American grizzly bear Paul Verlance. Igor isn't the biggest heavyweight out there, but he's definitely no small guy either. Still, Paul just looks massive compared to him. 6'8", 300 pounds. That's no joke. The fight starts and Paul immediately tries to grab hold of Igor, but Igor does a great job landing some clean, solid shots early on.
Paul is trying to use that weight on him, but I don't know if that's going to work against Igor because Igor's really tough. He's got great punches.
Paul leads the first few punches well and charges forward again, but Igor circles away, staying light on his feet. Then, out of nowhere, he unloads a brutal combo that stuns Paul.
I think the polar bear was hoping for more, but right there, a couple of right to left, a kick to the midsection by Igor Vovchanchyn, and you have to look right now.
Igor looks fantastic, moving smartly, not just running, but blitzing in with those signature punch sprints. He's fast enough to unleash his shots and still avoiding getting clinched by this brute.
From Igor Vovchanchyn, and right now, Paul trying anything to try to stay alive in this fight as both fighters start slugging it out.
Paul is struggling to get anything going. To his credit, he's tough. He can take punishment, but the striking clinic Igor's putting on is just too much. Eventually, Paul can't handle the onslaught any longer and goes down under the weight of all that damage.
Unbelievable! My God, that Igor guy's hitting hard.
And look at this, the ref seems almost hesitant to step in, while Igor keeps landing soccer kicks like, come on you foolish ref, don't stand in my way, I'm finishing this beast to level up. A masterful performance by Igor, pure textbook on how to dismantle a much bigger opponent, who only wants to bear hug you and smash your face into the mat.
Long for the official word.
2 minutes, 25 seconds. The winner.
Punches Igor Vovchanchyn.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And they're very precise also. He hits on the cheek, and that's a very weak point from the human skull. A blow on the cheek, it's over and out. Yeah, you see it here. This is a very dangerous situation, right?
Next up, Grigory versus Shamil Gaziev. Both of these guys looked absolutely savage. Definitely not the type you'd want to mess with on the street. They fight just as wild as they look. Right from the start, they begin swinging early. Grigory gets stunned by one of Gaziev's shots, and Shamil capitalizes with a nice takedown.
Бьет на первых минутах Шамиль Газиев, попадает, идет в ноги, пытается сделать перевод.
Оказался к этому готов Григорий Пономарев. И есть все-таки перевод.
But Grigory reverses it perfectly. A beautiful sweep puts him on top. What a crazy start to the round. They're back on their feet pretty fast and immediately start trading brutal punches, turning it into a dogfight.
Попадает! Сейчас Григорий Пономарев разрывает дистанцию, еще одно попадание.
Grigory feels that power again, so he shots for a takedown and ends up on top once more.
Есть проход.
И сваливает, да, оформляет тейкдаун.
They scramble on the ground for a bit, but neither gains much success, until Grigory lands a nasty elbow right to the ribcage just before they stand up. Shamil's fired up now. He's bloodied, but he's angry and charging straight for Grigory's head. What a war this first round is turning into. Minimal clinching, just pure unfiltered violence.
Хват.
И как легко просто.
Пропускает сейчас Григорий.
Пономарев к сетке бросает Шамиля. Еще один обмен
Хлесткие
ударами.
удары вылетают то с одной, то с другой стороны. Вопрос лишь только в том, кто чаще попадает.
И апперкот мощнейший.
Еще одно попадание. Болтануло немного Шамиля Газиева, но устойчив он по-прежнему.
And check this out. Grigory sticks out his tongue and taunts Shamil. Shamil looks like he's seeing some kind of demonic possession in Grigory and must be thinking, holy shit, I'm fighting a madman. That hesitation costs him. Grigory uses the moment to shot in and land another takedown. The rest of the round is spent mostly in the clinch and on the ground, with a few solid shots exchanged. But things heat up again in the final seconds. Shamil starts landing some nice shots from the clinch. Ponomarev eats them all, and in the last 15 seconds they both go full attack mode. What a crazy, awesome first round.
Шамиль Газиев тяжело дышит оба, и тут двойка вылетает от Пономарева, пропускает он в ответ. Одиночный.
Обоюдный обмен. Настоящая такая драка.
Да, кто кого просто передышит, перебьет.
Раунд завершен.
Round 2. They pick up right where they left off, trading punches straight to the face, like head movement doesn't exist.
Попадает Шамиль Газиев и пытается ответить сейчас Григорий Пономарев.
С правой руки пропускает Пономарев.
At one point, Shamil starts unloading brutal knees to the head. Grigory looks exhausted and starts taking serious damage.
Колено вылетает, еще одно колено от Газиева.
Все удары без ответа. Сейчас рефери может остановить этот бой. Капа вылетает. Все!
That's it. The ref has seen enough. Wow, what an epic fight. Now let's take a look at fight between two absolute units, James Thompson and the destruction machine himself, Alistair Overeem. James, as always, comes in with that full-on psychopath mentality, trying to intimidate his opponent with that classic "somebody hold me back before I start seeing red" energy. But Alistair, a seasoned K1 and MMA veteran, isn't afraid in the slightest. He looks at James Thompson like he's just another meal to maintain that insanely shredded physique. The fight starts, and right away, Overeem takes control, even throwing a flying knee to make a statement.
The stance here is Overeem. Switches to orthodox, went for a shoot attempt there, did Thompson. Oh, jumping knee from Overeem! He almost went over the top of the cage.
Thompson, true to his style, bum rushes in for a takedown, but he dives straight into Alistair's guillotine, one of his deadliest weapons. And that's it, Thompson taps. Overeem shows once again that those muscles aren't just for show, therefore collecting the heads of his foes. Predictable fight, but still pretty damn impressive. That was prime Overeem on that horse meat, if you know what I mean.
Ninth World champion in quarterfinal number 2, and will look to set up a rematch. There you see the gong and dash from Thompson. He threw a hook, he got caught in the guillotine.
Not easy to do, but he got it.
Let's move on to a K1 rules fight between another pair of absolute giants, Bob Sapp and Taro Akebono. Man, even Bob Sapp looks small compared to Akebono. Right away, they start exchanging heavy blows. Akebono leans on Sapp like he's about to wrestle him, but the ref immediately steps in like, "Back up, you big buffoon, this isn't an MMA match." They're both hesitant to engage, but Akebono decides once again to go for that bear hug, and Sapp lands a few nice shots as he comes in. Overall though, it's a slow-paced first round, lots of clinching and not too many significant strikes thrown. That said, the end of the round gets pretty wild. Bob Sapp starts swinging those massive hammers of his. A few even land on the back of Akebono's head. By the end of the round, Akebono's clearly not happy and says something like, "Watch where you're hitting, you muppet." Sapp just shrugs it off with a, "Yeah, sorry, my bad, bro." Then comes the start of round 2. Pure gold. They both grab each other with one hand and start dirty boxing with the other, almost like they made a gentleman's agreement. Why waste energy moving around? Let's just grab each other and swing. After Sapp unloads a few nuclear bombs, one of them opens a nasty cut on Akebono's forehead, bad enough to stop the fight. The ref calls it, and the judges render their decision based on what happened up to that point. No surprise here. Based on the second round alone, Sapp takes the win.
Holding his head down in the position in the corner like this, I mean, at that time, the referee should come in and stop the fight because he's no longer defending himself.
Next up, a fight between the Russian experiment Anton Vizagin and the Brazilian powerhouse Geronimo dos Santos. Two absolute machines stepping into the octagon. The fight starts and Geronimo immediately goes for the clinch, trying to take Vizagin down.
Традиционно в таких больших весах не очень быстро начинают бойцы, хотел сказать я, но они начали довольно быстро.
But he can't get it done. Geronimo starts throwing bombs. Most of them miss, but a few break through Vizagin's defense.
Ручище у него на самом деле примерно что-то такое же он показывал в бою против Штыркова.
Geronimo attempts a kick, but slips in the process, and Vizagin wastes no time capitalizing on the mistake. He dives in, scrambles on top, and unleashes some brutal ground and pound. They grapple for a bit, Vizagin hunts for a choke, doesn't get it, but transitions beautifully into full mount. And that's where it all ends for Dos Santos. Anthony starts gorilla pounding him into oblivion.
Но уже в маунте оказался Визигин, начинает разбивать Дос Сантоса.
Ну все.
И это нокаут.
That's it. Geronimo is out cold. What insane power from Vizagin. Geronimo couldn't even get up for a while. An absolutely savage ground and pound performance from the Russian experiment. Now let's take a look at another one of Igor Vovchanchyn's fights, also against a much bigger opponent, Fred Floyd. Full-on psychotic mode from Fred during his entrance. This guy looks ready to take someone out. Let's see if he can keep the same energy once he steps in there with the explosive beast Igor. The fight starts and Floyd bull rushes Igor, trying to overwhelm and intimidate him with heavy swinging shots. But Igor isn't fazed at all. He fires back with his own punches, and it turns into a wild exchange. Floyd then uses his size and weight to trap Igor against the cage, and soon after he scores a takedown.
Just pressing that weight against him, trying to wear him down.
Fred Floyd takes him inside the cage.
Igor is down, and this massive man is on top of him like an elephant. Not much action on the ground, and the ref stands them back up. And that's when Igor flips the switch. Floyd already looks tired, but Igor just getting started. He's becoming more active, and the big man begins backing away from the much smaller Vovchanchyn.
Trying to just put his entire weight on Vovchanchyn.
The most advantage one. Oh, I'm starting up. And Igor guys doing a very good job. I think he's going to suplex him now.
Martial arts in Japan. Right now, what a fight we have going on here.
By this point, Igor is relentless, chasing the finish like a madman. He's completely worn down the giant and is ready to slay him, to take his head back to the village, so to speak. Igor starts cracking that chin with brutal shots, and Floyd is taking serious punishment now.
Such episodes of the Fresh Prince or Seinfeld, rather than being inside this guy.
His conditioning is very good. He gave him some knees in the groin.
When you became a 5-time world championship.
Great right hook. Both of these men are showing courage and stamina and endurance.
From the stop of the International Fighting Championship World Tour.
Oh, he's hitting him with the one. Oh my God. It's an incredible good move. He moves and it's explosive. He's a good fighter, good conditioning, everything.
I mean, Igor's thrown 3, 4, 5 hooks to the face of the Mangler.
Now, Igor going away with the right hooks. This time with the left, he is tapped out. Fred Floyd has said he's had enough.
That's it, the ref steps in. Igor wins again, proving that skill and technique matter far more than size.
Igor Vovchanchyn will advance as we go to the replay run. This was hardly a fight when the time limit continued to drag on because Igor started to use his power against Floyd.
Now let's move on to Don Frye's fight with Akebono. The face-off between these two is intense. The American patriot Don Frye wants to get as close as possible to intimidate this mountain of a man, but the ref isn't having it. He steps in and completely blocks Frye from getting too close to Akebono, almost like an overprotective friend keeping a creep away at the club. The fight starts and we get fireworks right away. Frye nearly cracks that massive chin early. Akebono survives the blast and clinches up immediately. They trade some dirty boxing inside the clinch, before the ref steps in to break them apart. But it's clear, Akebono doesn't want to trade leather after getting racked. Every chance he gets now, he clinches up, smothering Frye, leaning his huge frame on him, and trying to wear him down. His game plan is obvious: drag Frye into the deep waters, and hope the old school brawler gasses out by round 2.
コメントをしていたドンフライであります。ちょっと距離を置いた。Akebono出ていく。Akebono 元気です。掴みました。ボディは効かせてると思いますよ。ドンフライ選手の方が。やはり予想以上の圧力であります。とにかく一発が重いという。
Second round, same story. Akebono keeps leaning on Frye, using every opportunity to bull rush and pin him, making him carry that enormous weight. It's a tough, grueling fight for Frye, but as the round goes on, you can see Akebono starting to fade fast.
いけばリーチも長いですし、そうですね。パンチ力も短距離です。この距離で戦ってたら詰めない方がいいと思いますね。
Then it happens. Frye throws a sharp leg kick that trips Akebono, and the giant comes crashing down.
かなりスタミナがね。
Frye pounces, unloading vicious ground and pound before locking in a choke. That's it, a hard-earned victory for the old-school savage Don Frye.
最後はアケボノのスタミナが切れたところを狙ってドンフライがテイクダウンを奪う。そのまま一気にフロントチョークを決めた。
Now let's take a look at the massive guys, Kirill Sidelnikov and Chris Barnett. Now don't let the looks fool you. They may look like they're about to face off in a hot dog eating competition, but trust me, these two can throw down for real. The fight starts and right away, you can see they're both pretty fast. They begin landing shots, with Sidelnikov looking just a bit quicker.
他可以把他的腹肌收住嘛？喘气这样。他有太多伤害，如果你在吸气的时候被打中，你会岔气。中直接抱摔。
And look at how focused Sidelnikov is. For him, this is everything. This is his title fight. He's worked too long to be known as that famous chubby guy with sharp striking. Now he's facing his arch nemesis, an even chubbier striker, who wants to steal his title as the simple chubby guy who kicks monsters' asses. Pretty technical fight from both men so far. No rushing, both staying light on their feet, picking their shots carefully, but with powerful precision.
这黑熊长得有点像50美分啊。
And look at this head movement from Sidelnikov. Some crazy reactions on display. Overall in this round, Kirill looked sharper and more precise with his hands, while Barnett landed a few solid kicks.
被裁判都 KO 的有一个 KO 两个对手，两个对手都 K 掉了。就做 MMA 的裁判呢，一般的话，他们之前也是裁判的。
一般都是站着打，
是因为他们估计都是站立型的选手。但他们倒了地了之后也。
Second round, and Barnett starts coming out more aggressive. His corner probably told him, "Why are you so hesitant? God damn it! Attack first, dictate your pace." And then Barnett scores a takedown.
不可以去抓围绳来，只能去。
Barnett is able to control Sidelnikov on the ground for the rest of the round. Not much damage done from the top though. There were a few submission attempts and some ground and pound, but nothing special. Still, that's definitely Barnett's round. The third round starts and Chris almost immediately goes for a takedown. But look at this, he gets tangled in the ropes in the process. Rising officials are trying to free Barnett, who's upside down now. For a moment it looks like a human origami contest. The fight resumes, but Barnett already looks exhausted. Kirill once again does a great job in the striking department, clearly outstriking Barnett with his hands.
刚才
危险。
对。
哇，一个，
我觉得他俩势均力敌。
Barnett tries to land some kicks, but by this point in the fight, his strikes are getting pretty sloppy, and Kirill is getting the better of the exchanges.
太抗击打能力太强。
最后10秒。
The fight goes the distance, and Kirill earns a hard-fought decision victory.
他们打到最后还是有重击啊，
对，
就也是
边拳啊，
对，
不错，
对，值得大家去觉得值得敬佩的。
是，你别看着这个格斗。
And let's wrap it up with another fight with huge size difference between Ikushi Minowa and the Brazilian savage Zuluinho. The fight starts and Ikushi immediately does what his mother probably told him to do if a guy like Zuluinho ever approached him on the street looking for a fight: run. Minowa is literally running from Zuluinho for almost the entire first round.
軽いジャブのつもりがもらう超人ミノワにとっては致命傷。どのようにショーが大を制するか。
そうですね。やっぱり力では。
Zuluinho though finally manages to catch him in the last minute of the round, manhandling Minowa on the ground for the rest of the round.
どこからこの流れ掴んだ。どうだ超人。
さあここでチャンスですけどね。見えなかったですね。
寝技の得意なズール。
まだ抜けられない。
右の拳。
Second round, and Minowa sticks to the same tactic, running circles around Zuluinho. Honestly, it's hard to understand Minowa's game plan here. Was he trying to tire Zuluinho out? Because if anything, it looks like he's the one getting tired from all that running. Once again, Zuluinho catches the running man around the midway point, overpowers him and takes him to the ground. Minowa can't do anything. Zuluinho is working for submissions, landing ground and pound, and Minowa just trying to survive. Another terrible round for Minowa. Third round, not much changes. Minowa keeps trying to avoid the fight, but Zuluinho traps him in the corner, takes him down and lands more heavy ground and pound.
再三ピンチを逃れてきたミノーマン、足を掴んでテイクダウン、グラウンド、まだ大丈夫、悲鳴が上がる大阪ドーム、さあ勝ち上がれ。
Ikushi is helpless again as Zuluinho starts unloading from half mount. Maybe not the most powerful shots, but enough to do real damage.
そして正面から立ち上がれるか。
That's it. The ref has seen enough and stops the beatdown.
メインキャスター井上和歌さん、ダイナマイトらしい戦いを見せてくれましたが、ミノーマン残念でした。
残念でしたね。でもさすがにさすが。
And that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe and hype up the video. Have a great day, God bless, and I'm out.